What's up, and welcome back to Interpreting the Stars, where today we're bringing it back to our DCEU Rewatch Marathon with one of the most loved films of the universe, Wonder Woman. Now, that love refers to the mass majority out there. When this film first came out, rantings and ravings billowed out about how awesome it was, in a similar way, I feel like, as to how people ranted and raved about Black Panther when that was released. Interestingly enough, I'd say my response to both, I can see where people love them, but neither film is really perfect to me or anything, so let's agglomerate together and let's get crackin'. This review is brought to you by the word of the day, agglomerate. Collect or form into a mass or group, aka exactly what we should be avoiding in real life. Wonder Woman follows around Diana Prince, an Amazonian princess who grew up on an island nobody knew existed. When she learns about World War I happening in the background, she believes it is due to the god of war, Ares, and plans to find him and end him, believing doing so will end the war in the process. To aid her on this mission is Steve Trevor, played by Chris Pine, an American spy working for British intelligence. When I first saw this movie, I was thinking the war in question was actually World War II for whatever reason, because I'm not actually that familiar with either wars, specifically battleground stuff, other than knowing it's a world war, they're fighting Germans, and whatever. Usually with World War II, I'm more familiar with what else is happening in the background, like the Great Depression, the Holocaust, Hitler, and the like, but there is one sequence in this movie, one sequence that actually reminded me so much of 1917. I was like, wait, is this World War I? And it was. To me, that's just an interesting little tidbit. Truthfully, it also means that to me, it didn't do the best job with the production design to really let the audience know what year this took place in. I'm not sure it truly mattered, though, because in the grand scheme of things, it's just about war and Diana's quest for peace. If I were to compare this to any of the MCU films, I most likely would say it's a mix between Thor and Captain America: The First Avenger. Thor because of the godlike fantasy connections, talking about Zeus and the like. Captain America for the period drama and even romance bit of it. On its own, I think it does a pretty great job, even though I still don't think it's perfect. I think a lot of people automatically assume it is perfect because it's one of the first real female superheroes. I say first real because we've had lead female superheroes in the past. Can anybody say Supergirl? Yeah, that movie was hot, smelly garbage with a rotting corpse inside, but it still counts. I mean, think about it. It makes sense for Black Panther too, for being the first real black superhero, while the world completely disregards Meteor Man. I love Meteor Man. People automatically praise films when they feel more original than others, and I can get behind that sentiment. But I still score films the same regardless, and I still find negatives in this movie. First, I feel the length. I do. It's 2.5 hours long, and you do feel that, because there are moments in this movie that slow it down, drag it down a little bit more than necessary, and you're left unsure when it'll pick up again. Movies do need those breather moments, don't get me wrong, but too much of a good thing can also be seen as a bad thing as well. Also, production design, like I said, it wasn't as great as it could have been in letting the audience know what year it was. That had to do with sets, lighting, wardrobe, haircuts, all that, and there just was an ingredient in there that I feel like was missing. Maybe it was Chris Pine, who didn't look like he stepped out of the past. I'd say the same about Gadot. I don't know how you're supposed to say her name, but she was kind of supposed to be timeless in her own way. Overall, I'd say as a DCEU film, it works out rather well. Pretty much anything with the original trio. Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, they all feel like they fit within that same universe. Some of the others break the tradition and feel like their own thing, like the neon and comedic differences in Suicide Squad, or the all-over-the-place style of Aquaman, or the family-friendly nature of Shazam. Tonally, this film franchise switches it up all the freaking time, but Wonder Woman still fit in the same original tone of the universe, so that's good. My unbiased view is that Wonder Woman definitely did what it needed to do to feel unique, different, and a film that stood out in a good way. That unbiased score is 84%, and my bias isn't too far off at 88%, meaning that everything averages up to a score of 86%. 86 out of 100 possible stars, granting this a letter grade of B+, which is the same score that I gave to Man of Steel, which had a switch in the biased and unbiased score, so I actually enjoyed Wonder Woman more. Isn't that interesting? Anyways, let's hear your thoughts on Wonder Woman in the comments down below. Are you one of the many lovers of this film? Do you think it was overhyped? Let me know. As for YouTube, you know what to do. Hit the subscribe button if you like this review and would like to see some others like it. Hit the thumbs up button because that always helps out my channel. And don't forget about the little bell icon because that'll help notify you when I come up with the next review. And until then, peace out!